What is up, YouTube? So today we're going to be doing another helpful type video. The goal of today is to go over some words and some terms that you hear a lot in Smite and other MOBAs that you guys might not understand. I actually went through in my stream chat and had everyone say words or tell me the words that they just did not get when I said them, or when they heard them at other streams, or when they heard casters say them. Whatever the reason may be, these words might not be directly understood. Some of them are really common. Some of them are not so common. You might know them right away. You might have no clue. Either way, it's just to help those of you who might not know some of these words. Before I jump into the terms, please make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and come back for some more content so I can keep doing this because it's fun as shit. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and figure out what these words mean. The first word is proxy. So I say this a lot in stream. It technically has two meanings in Smite, at least. This is used a lot in Smite. You hear it in streams a lot more than anything else. When a solo laner is looking to rotate early, you will see them loop around from their lane and meet the wave, meaning the other team's wave is walking out of the base, walking out of the base, and they'll kill it in front of either the tier 2 tower or in front of the Phoenix. So that way they kill the wave before it meets the other wave. So when a solo laner, or when you say someone is proxying, you will be meaning that they are going to kill the wave before the waves meet. Granted, that could technically mean they're just doing it in front of the tier 1 tower, but most commonly it is used when the solo laner, and I say solo laner because that is where it is the most common, like I said, goes in front of a tower, waits for the wave to hit them rather than the wave hitting their wave, clear it, and then they'll rotate out. They'll go take buffs. They'll rotate to mid lane, whatever they may do. Now, the second meaning, other way it's used, is being proxied by a teammate or having someone proxy you. And that could mean clearing away before you are in range to get XP. So if I'm a jungler running to a speed buff and my mid laner kills it before I get there, and I say, you just proxied me, meaning you killed the wave before I got in range, or you killed the camp before I got in range to get XP. Happens a hell of a lot as a jungler in the mid lane. When you're worried about going up to the wave to attack it, you can't do that, so you sit back and your mid laner uses their long range clears it, and you don't get XP or gold off of some of the creeps. You'll be like, you just proxied me. All right, you'll hear me say that a whole lot. So that is the word, what the word proxy. Hopefully that was a good explanation. If you come into my stream, I can show it in game a little bit better. Second word, most of you will know this word, but new players will not know what the fuck this means. It means, the word is gank. It doesn't mean gank. The word is gank, and basically you're saying, come over and kill my lane for whatever reason. I need you to kill them, or it's an easy kill. You need to really determine why the person is telling you to come gank their lane, come kill their lane, come rotate and take care of it. A lot of the times in lower level play, people will be like, dude, you need to gank my lane because they're getting shit on and they aren't very good. You might not want to go gank that lane because it might be harder than they're making it seem. Now in a higher level play, I might be playing in an SPL game and Cyclone will be like, yo, you can gank my lane. And the idea behind that is the guy has low health, or he's out of position, or he has abilities that are down, or his actives are down. There's some reason I'm being called and told to come kill this lane. Third word on the list, by the way, there are like 10 words, is mitigated. And that's basically you're reducing the damage incoming to you, or someone reduced the damage you put out to them. They mitigated the damage. So your ability was mitigated. It didn't do as much as it should have. Next word is poking, and this is very uncommon in low level play, very, very common in high level play. If I say I'm poking, it means I'm using an ability without the intent to kill the person. I'm using my Thor 1 to poke somebody. I'm poking them. So when we want to rotate, or we want to go gank a lane, or we want to do an objective, they will be low health already coming in. They will not be full health, so you will have some kind of an advantage. There are a lot of team comps in Smite that are based around poking, putting out damage, and then forcing an objective, so that person cannot back to base, they can't heal, they can't go somewhere else, they have to come right to you with that low health, and by the time they rotate in and you're already ready to fight, they're, like I said, your abilities are back up, their health is low, and you can kill them that time. So sometimes poking is just, or almost all the time poking is just doing damage without the intent to kill, usually because you do not have the ability to take all of their health away, you can only take some of it away. Next word is rotating, and this can be applied to any lane, any role, any person at any point in time. Sometimes you are rotating to gank somebody. Sometimes you are rotating to counter gank. Sometimes you're, if you guys don't know what counter gank means, that, like I said, ganking is when you kill a lane. Well, when you know someone's going over to gank a lane, you follow behind them. So right after they start the gank, you can counter gank and actually kill them before they get their original gank off. Just that said. So rotating has a lot of meaning. It's very, very common in Smite, whether you use the word or not. You are doing it more than likely, even if you don't realize it. Say the mid laner wants to do an objective. He will say, hey, duo lane, or hey, solo laner, we're going to do this objective, so rotate. So as the mid laner goes and pulls the gold fury, you see the solo laner walk out of their lane, come across mid, and come over to gold. They have rotated from one side of the map to the other. They have moved position for a reason. So you don't just rotate for the hell of it. Sometimes you rotate to hold a lane. Sometimes you rotate to gank. Sometimes you rotate to secure a buff. There's a lot of reason for rotating. You just have to distinguish which reason you're doing it for. Counter initiation is another very common word. Initiation is going in, initiating, starting a fight, starting something. Counter initiation is when you are playing a god or you have an ability that does well after the other team engages. So say a Robin ults on you. He jumps in, lands on you. He's going to start shitting on you. So that's the initiation. Counter initiation would be a Geb ult, or a Geb knockup, or a Kumba mez, or anything of that sort. Whereas say an Ares isn't really going to have a lot of counter initiation. They're going to have a really good initiation because you're going to blink in, you're going to ult, you're going to get as many people grouped up. Counter initiation is going to be something that turns the fight in your favor right after they start the fight. Pretty straightforward, not too difficult. Diminishing returns. This is basically meaning when you stun somebody for 1 second, if you don't leave a gap in between, I don't know the exact time for each type of CC, crowd control, whatever type of ability. If you don't leave a big enough gap, then the next stun will not be full length. So if you 1 second stun somebody and that stun goes and it falls off, and then right away you hit him with another stun, that stun will not, and that's another 1 second stun, it will not last a full second. It will last like 3/4 of a second or half of a second. And then if you don't leave any space there to let that diminishing return fall off and go away, if you stun again too soon, it'll only be 0.25 seconds. And it continues down to nothing if you don't leave a gap of time. So you will notice a lot of times when, say, a Sun Wukong stuns somebody with his 3, and let's say you're Thor. So you run in with your 2, your stun, and you try to get your hammer throw off. You don't get it off in time because your stun didn't last as long as you thought. It didn't last as long as you thought because you did not leave a gap of time to get rid of those diminishing returns. Your stun wasn't as long as it was supposed to be because that person was just hit by another stun or CC. This applies to all CC, I believe. The time in between that you need to leave a gap is not that big. It's not like 10 seconds. It's very, very short. So just make sure you recognize that when you're using your abilities, and you'll figure it out. It's not too difficult. Someone asked the difference between flat pen and percentage pen. So flat pen is just a flat number. It is reducing 10 protections, or it's taking away, if you have 10 pen, it is taking away 10 protections. If you have 10% pen, it is going to take away that percentage. So if you have 100 pen or 100 protections and you have 10% pen, it'll take away 10. If you have 200 protections and you have 10% pen, you'll be taking away 20 of those protections. Pretty simple. Just take away the percentage of the overall number, whereas flat pen just takes away that base number no matter what. If you have 20 flat pen, you'll take away 20 from 100. You'll take away 20 from 200. You'll take away 20 from 300. Pretty straightforward. It's not too difficult once you get it going. Someone asked the meaning. I can't speak. Someone asked for the meaning of peel. This is actually a really common question in lower level play when new players come in. Peeling for somebody is getting people off of that person. If that person is being killed, it is controlling, stunning, slowing, silencing, pulling, getting in the face of whatever way it may be, is taking that target off of your teammate. You peel for your own teammates. You peel for yourself. So a stun, if someone's attacking you and you stun them, and you're peeling them off of you. If someone's attacking your hunter and you stun them, you just peeled off for your hunter. If someone is chasing after your hunter, is really close, and you root them, you just peeled for them. If someone starts attacking your hunter and you start beating them with the damaging abilities and they have to back off, you just peeled for them. Basically, when you're peeling for somebody, you are removing that target from your teammate. Straightforward. CDR, very common word. Really, if you've played like a World of Warcraft, a lot of games, there are a shit ton of games that have CDR in them. You'll know what this means. It's straightforward. It's based on your ability or your items you get affecting your abilities. So when you go into the purchase tab, you go into the store to buy something, you will see, oh, I messed up. You will see cooldown percentage, CDR. They don't actually put percentage in here. Don't know why. So CDR is this tab. So if I were playing Thor and I buy Jotuns, it has 20% cooldown reduction or CDR, meaning 20% of the time has been taken off of my ability. If my ability is a 10-second cooldown, my hammer throws on a 10-second cooldown, I buy Jotun's Wrath, it is now on an 8-second cooldown. Just removes that amount of time off of your abilities, and it caps at 40%. You cannot buy, well, you can buy more than 40%, but it will not affect your abilities after 40%. So if you buy Jotuns and let's say breastplate, you have 40% CDR, you're capped out. You cannot get any more time taken off of your abilities, but you could still buy a Hydra's. You just won't get the cooldown reduction. It won't be applied because you can't have more than 40. Not too strange at all. So those are the words that are most commonly asked in my stream that we went over. I'm sure there are more that you do not know. If you have any questions about words, drop them in the comments below. I'll make another video if there are that many words. If there aren't that many words, I'll just respond and you'll know what it means. For most of us, these words are very common. Most of us have used these words and know exactly what they mean. This isn't going to apply. These words are not going to be new for all of you. The idea is this going to help people in game. When people hear these words, they're not going to be confused. They're going to be better because of it. And I want you guys to understand that when you're watching this video. So please hit the subscribe button. Check out the video later tonight, and I will see you all tomorrow.